What's up everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Tuesday, August 5th. Now in today's video, we have to talk about Dog Bitcoin's price, volatility, especially in the charting and analysis. At the end of the video, the reason we look at charting and analysis because we want to understand the emotional volatility given within the market, also the manipulation happening within the market, because Dog is not the only token that's down, it's the entire crypto market. So there's manipulation because we do have a catalyst event that could be happening on September 17th, which is the 25 basis points hopefully to be announced by the Fed or the FOMC meeting. But before we talk about all that, let's also cover the Kraken F1 challenge because we are only 3 days away on August 8th to announce who's going to be securing P2 and P1 position. You'll be surprised of who's buying into Dog still to this day. So let's cover it in this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X, and please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. Dog Bitcoin right now hovering around a 280 million market cap. Now, as you notice over the past 7 days, it's kind of been stuck around that range ever since we took a major dip roughly around 330 million to now roughly 280 million. 300 million is the resistance level. We will talk about that in just a little bit. Now, the reason the whole market is tanking is because Bitcoin has taken a dip down to roughly around $112,000 as of this morning. Just yesterday, it was at $115,000. Whatever happens to Bitcoin ultimately affects every other altcoin and meme coin. Now, the liquidations over the past 24 hours, roughly around $327 million in liquidations. Now, let's look at the meme coin market. It's all in red, and that's completely okay. When things take a dip in the meme coin market sector, as much as they dip pretty hard, they also pump really hard. That's why we love meme coins. Well, particular meme coins. Not all meme coins are successful. Roughly around 99% of meme coins pretty much go down to zero. And as you can see, Dog Bitcoin right now is still in the red compared to the whole market, so nothing pretty unique there. This is pretty much a lot of manipulation to shake a lot of people out of their position. Now, Rob over at Digital Asset News has a great reminder for everybody in times of turbulation. Now, he says, it's a funny thing. When the price goes down as a bunch of people that panic sell and say that the bull run is over and don't want to buy, then when the price goes up, they don't want to sell anything because they think that the bull run will last forever. People are strange creatures. So overall, when there's dips, usually retail never buys those dips. It's completely normal. In fact, retail tends to panic sell and spread a lot of FUD saying the market is going to zero. But when their portfolio tends to pump, they're saying everything goes to the moon. And people chase the things that have already pumped. Do you see the mentality and the cycle that goes on with these retail? That's why you have to think as a whale or a professional trader. We buy when things are dipping. We never buy things when they're pumping. But I do need to mention something, okay? So this was just yesterday. This is one of the catalyst events that I think is coming up pretty soon. This is on September 17th that we predict that there's going to be a 25 basis points rate cut that will be announced at that FOMC meeting. And just yesterday, the CME tool that predicts when there is a possibility of a rate cut announcement just sparked from 80% to 94%, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this is absolutely real. Just last week, this was a 43% chance that this was going to be announced as a rate cut. Then it jumped up to 83%, now 94%. So now there is a high chance that there's going to be a rate cut announcement on September 17th. With that said, now you're probably not surprised that there is manipulation within the market. They want retail, the ones that don't pay attention to this type of thing, and they want them to sell, and they most likely will. Because this announcement that's going to happen is going to be very bullish for crypto, because once there's a 25 basis points rate cut, then there's going to be the money printer turning on, quantitative easing, you're going to see stocks, crypto, and especially Dog pump. Now let's talk about the Kraken F1 showdown, okay? So this was again mentioned yesterday's video where Dog secured P2 position and we were roughly around 0.4% ahead of Bonk, not too much. As you can see, Dog is roughly around $30,000-$40,000 ahead of Bonk, so not that much. Another thing that I forgot to mention in yesterday's video regarding this line chart was that, have you noticed something about Pengu? Pengu is actually slowing down in trading volume. So with 3 days left, is there a possibility that we can not only just flip Bonk, but could we flip Pengu just within those 3 days? But let's keep in mind, even though we're only roughly around $40,000 ahead of Bonk, remember one thing, and I really like to thank Rafa Campos for sharing this image and also breakdown. Remember, Bonk actually has a team behind it, and the team has treasuries, and they also have token allocations for insiders and paid marketing, and this is what you're competing against. Yet, individuals like ourselves who have no team members, who have no core developers or anybody that can have a marketing budget, all the trading volume that you're seeing happen organically is done by you, the retail investor. This is the power of Dog. We are proving right now that Dog is 100% grassroots with no team members, no marketing budget. It's just us, the individuals that are trading every single day, selling, buying, converting within the Kraken app. And that has allowed us to surpass Bonk. That's the power of Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why we're seeing people like C2 Blockchain, a publicly traded company, add 6.7 million Dog tokens to their treasury as of this morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they have not stopped at 200 million. They are accumulating as much as possible. And not only that, we also have people like Harley Quinn, who just acquired yesterday $4.6 thousand worth of Dog. Then we also have this person, Kelsey, acquire 1.5 thousand Canadian dollars into Dog. And we also have this person who may possibly deploy roughly around 22,000 US dollars into Dog. We also have Keys over here buying roughly around $425 worth of Dog. And you don't really need to spend that much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just have $100 or just $1, that counts towards this competition. We even have Dippy over here that only swapped around 0.0014 worth of Bitcoin into Dog. This is why it matters. Every single trade up until this point for the next 3 days matters for us to secure a P2 position. And in my private DMs this morning, I'm not going to reveal who this person is, but they're buying quote unquote a chunk daily of Dog to support the Kraken F1 challenge. I'm not going to display who this person is, if it's a woman, it's a guy, but this person does have liquidity, and that's all I'm going to say. And the reason we're all buying in is because of P2 position. Listen, if we cannot get P1, which is the rear wing of Kraken F1 car, Kraken has listed specifically that they got a little something for P2 with the I emoji. And they even mention it down here, but don't count out P2. There may be something waiting just off the podium. So P2 position, I want you guys and girls to focus on that. If we cannot get P1, P2, we need to get this. So make every trade count every single day for the next 3 days. Okay, let's get into the charting analysis. So this is where we are right now. Remember, we talked about a triple bottom, which is 1, 2, 3, with a resistance level of around 380 million. Right now, Dog just saw this large red candle. Well, that's due to the whole crypto market. Now, right over here is the next blue line. This is the 25 basis points rate cut that happens on September 17th, hopefully. And we also have the Dog spot listing right over here. Now, notice something within the MACD. What have you noticed down here? Now, it looks like there's weakening selling pressure, meaning look at this orange line. The orange line is looking like it's going to cross the blue line. Also, the pink histogram bars are getting weaker and weaker. That means we could see a reversal at any time or any moment. But let's go ahead and zoom out in the bigger picture. Now, when we see prices like this in the red zone, we see dips like this. Now, the only times that we saw dips like this right around here is when the market of Dog went from around 999 million market cap to around 100 million market cap. Then right over here, we saw roughly around a 950 to 970 million market cap dip as low as around 200 million market cap. That's where we saw these little dips. But what I want to pay attention to is where the Dog price is. So you notice that in this zone right here where the Dog price is, what happens in the MACD? So pay attention to where we are right here. We're in this zone. Let's pay attention to MACD. Then we're in this zone. Pay attention to the MACD. Now look at these other zones. When we saw this zone over here in this exact same zone for Dog was already down here, and then we saw a massive reversal to the upside. Now let's look over here in this section where the Dog price is. What was happening in the MACD? We were seeing that the Dog price was going back up within that specific trend lane. Do you see this? From here to here, we saw the MACD price go back up. So ladies and gentlemen, this to me looks like there's a potential reversal about to happen pretty soon because we're forming a bullish pennant or a bullish flag. Also, the inverse head and shoulders pattern is still intact and the golden cross is still intact. That's why I'm seeing right now that this is just looking and coiling up for something very big, regardless of this price manipulation, given the fact that we have a 25 basis points just around the corner. So up until today, all the way up until September 17th, there will be a lot of price volatility. But I think that the price of Dog and also the crypto market will react positively to the upside before this announcement. I don't think professional traders are waiting for that date. It's going to happen much sooner because they want people to get shaken out beforehand, and then the price will pump before this September 17th announcement. So as always, I'm not shaking out. You know that I'm always bullish around dog. This to me is the huge shakeout that needs to happen, not just within dog, but within the crypto market in order to get you to paper hand before we have the money printer turning on, before quantitative easing happens on September 17th. This will happen most likely prior to that date. So just get ready for a very volatile month. But nonetheless, the Kraken F1 competition should be your main focus for the next 3 days. Trade, buy, sell, convert, whatever it is. If it's $1, $100 or more, you already know that even C2 blockchain, even whales for that matter, and retail are participating in this. This is a huge deal, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe we're only 3 days away. Make sure that every hour counts. I am absolutely amped. I'm going to be trading. I'm going to be buying as much dog as I can. So with that said, be sure to smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding dog on the moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.